Cleaning and lubing your motorcycle chain is as fundamental as checking your tire pressures and changing the engine oil. But do you need to scrub it with degreaser, or is a simple wipe down enough? What chain lube should you use? And where exactly do you spray it? Let's open up the shop manual and find out. This dose of shop manual knowledge is brought to you by Bridgestone. The new RS12 offers race-inspired performance for the street and track. Buy 2 eligible Bridgestone tires March 1st through May 31st and get up to $70 back. When you need to lube your chain really depends on your riding environment, but here's a good rule of thumb. Lubricate your drivetrain anytime it sounds or looks dry. If your chain sounds like this, woof, it's past due for some TLC. To give your drivetrain love, you're gonna need some supplies. Grab a handful of rags, ideally cut from an old terry cloth towel, some chain cleaner, although you can use WD-40 or even kerosene if you wanna save a few bucks. You'll need a chain brush, but an old toothbrush will do the trick. You'll need some chain lube, and I would recommend grabbing some pieces of cardboard to use as a splatter guard, as well as some heavy-duty nitrile gloves, because this is kind of a messy job. A rear stand is also super helpful, but ultimately not necessary. You can tend to your bike's chain with the bike on its side stand by doing a section at a time, but getting the rear wheel off the ground is going to make chain maintenance a lot easier. And that maintenance starts with cleaning. Grit and grime cause friction and contribute to corrosion, so keeping your chain relatively clean is important. And you definitely want to remove debris before applying lube. Now, in my book, there are 2 levels of chain cleaning. You've got a stage 1 quick wipe down with a rag, and then you've got a stage 2 deep cleaning with a brush. Which approach you use depends on how dirty your chain is. If your chain is just a little scuzzy, then spraying some cleaner on a rag and wiping down the links ought to knock off most of the crud. However, if you don't do this stage 1 wipe down regularly and you've allowed your chain to get really grimy, then you're gonna need to do a stage 2 clean. For that, you're gonna douse the chain in cleaner and then scrub it with a brush. Use a piece of cardboard to shield your tire and exhaust and swing arm, and then get the chain good and wet. There are plenty of chain-specific cleaners. I'm partial to Motool's Chain Clean as well as Maxima's Cleanup, but you can also use WD-40 or kerosene or pretty much any light petroleum solvent. However, you do not want to use carb cleaner, brake cleaner, gasoline, or acetone, or anything harsh like that, because it could damage the chain's O-rings. Give the cleaner a minute to start loosening the grime that's on the chain, and then start scrubbing the links. You can use an old toothbrush, which you probably have kicking around, but if you use something like a grunge brush or a Tyrox 360 brush, the job is going to go a lot faster. I'm partial to the Tyrox 360 brush because not only does it hit it from all directions, but it's really easy to wrap a rag around it so it doesn't fling grime everywhere as you're cleaning the chain. Once you've done a couple of laps around the chain, you can remove the brush and then wipe the chain down with a rag to remove the residual grime. You can also wipe down the sprocket teeth as well. It might take a couple of go-arounds on the chain, and it might take a couple of rags. On the topic of rags, let me nerd out for a moment, because the material you use is going to have an impact on how clean your chain gets. Paper towels, those old school flat woven red shop rags, and rags made from t-shirts don't really get down into the links, whereas a scratchy terry cloth or a nice fluffy microfiber gets into all the nooks and crannies and really cleans stuff out. So in my shop, what I do is I cut up old towels to use as rags, and the chain is usually the last stop before they hit the trash can. Now that your chain is clean, you're in a great position to check to make sure that the slack matches what's on the service sticker, which you will usually find on your bike's swing arm or on the frame or in your owner's manual. Also a good idea to check the condition of your master link and to see if there's wear on your sprocket teeth. You can also do a general assessment of your drivetrain's condition by trying to pull the chain away from the rear sprocket. It shouldn't move much, but if you can pull it away enough that you can see daylight underneath the links, that's a sure sign that the parts are worn out. In any case, once your chain is clean and you have confirmed that it is still serviceable, it's time to lubricate. Pretty much all modern chains are sealed, like the segment I have disassembled here, meaning they use some form of rubber O-ring or X-ring to seal grease inside the links. That means the most critical part of the chain is permanently lubricated. So when you're spraying lube on the chain, all you're looking to do is keep those O-rings conditioned and help prevent corrosion. Speaking of which, if your bike has a raw steel chain, which is going to have a dull gray color, it's going to be far more susceptible to corrosion than a plated chain, which will have a shinier gold or silver appearance. So keep that in mind as you're developing your maintenance routine. The next big question then is, which chain lube should I use? Different chain lubes are going to work well in different environments, and there are a lot of options. But in general, the tackier oil-based lubes tend to stay put and are highly water resistant, so they work well if you're riding in the rain or if you live close to the coast, which can be highly corrosive. Meanwhile, the dry wax-based lubes don't attract dirt as much, so those are a better fit if you're riding in dry, dustier conditions. To lubricate your chain, you're going to work on the lower chain run, and you're going to spray lube on the inside line of side plate links and then the outside line of side plates. And you're aiming for that gap between the inner link and the outer link. And if you're worried about being able to keep track of a full revolution, you can either try to eyeball your master link if it's a different color, or you can even take a permanent marker or a paint pen or a piece of masking tape and put it on a link so you can track that sucker going around. Just in case you're thinking it might be easy to lube the chain with the engine running and the transmission in gear, don't. Besides the very real possibility of losing a finger, the chain is going to bounce around a bunch, which is going to make it nearly impossible to evenly apply the lube. So there you have it. A clean, well-lubricated chain is going to run smoother and last longer, so make sure you're staying on top of your chain maintenance. Your motorcycle will thank you.
Hey, thanks for getting back to basics in this episode of the Shop Manual, where we teach you how to clean and lubricate your chain. Now, if you need to replace your chain and sprockets because you did that little pull-away test and it seems like things are worn out, please scan the QR code on your screen. That is going to take you over to Common Tread, where I wrote a very comprehensive article explaining and demystifying all of your choices when it comes to replacing your chain and sprockets, because it turns out there are a lot of decisions to make. And as a reminder, if you like the Shop Manual and you appreciate this content and you appreciate Daily Rider and CTXP Adventures, know that these shows are made with the dollars that you spend at RevZilla. So if you want to support the shows, buy your stuff at RevZilla. Thanks.